I'm standing in my childhood best friend's kitchen, holding a business card between two fingers like it's a winning lottery ticket, watching the color drain from three faces simultaneously. It's 2:47 p.m. on a Saturday. The coffee maker behind them is still gurgling. Their laughter from 30 seconds ago is still echoing in my head. But we need to back up. Because the story of how I got to this moment, the moment where I became the punchline of my own friend group, starts 6 months earlier, in a Tesla I couldn't afford to be riding in. Last April, my friend group did this monthly brunch thing. Sarah, Marcus, and Devin. We'd been tight since college, that ride-or-die squad that survives graduation and jobs and relationships. Or so I thought. The dynamic had been shifting for about a year, if I'm honest with myself. Sarah landed this tech job, started pulling six figures. Marcus married into family money, like vacation home and Aspen money. Devin did the cryptocurrency thing right before it exploded and wouldn't shut up about it. Me? I was working 3 freelance gigs, driving a 2009 Civic with a check engine light that had been on since 2018, living in a basement apartment that smelled like whoever lived there in the 90s. The brunch thing started feeling different. More expensive restaurants. Conversations about investment portfolios and mortgage rates. I'd throw in something about struggling to pay my student loans and get these sympathetic head tilts that felt more condescending than caring. This particular Saturday in April, Marcus picked me up in his wife's Tesla. Cream leather interior. That new car smell mixed with his expensive cologne. I'm wearing my one good jacket, the one I wear to every single professional event because it's the only thing I own that doesn't scream broke freelancer. How's the work situation? He asks, and I can hear the pity already loaded into the question. You know, hustling, building the portfolio. I'm looking out the window, watching neighborhoods get progressively nicer. Have you thought about just getting a real job? Real job, like what I'm doing isn't real. Like the 60-hour weeks I'm putting in don't count because they don't come with a corner office and health insurance. I should have seen it then. The way he said it. But you know how it is when you're inside something? You make excuses. He's trying to help. He doesn't mean it that way. We get to this place that does $15 mimosas and $30 eggs Benedict. Sarah and Devin are already there, and I notice immediately. They've started without me. Not just started eating, but started a whole conversation about some yacht party Marcus and his wife are hosting next month. Oh, we were just talking about the summer schedule, Sarah says, smiling in that way that doesn't reach her eyes. She's wearing this silk blouse that probably costs more than my rent. You should totally come to the yacht thing. If you can get the time off from your projects, not work, projects. I order the cheapest thing on the menu, still $18 for basically eggs and toast, and spend the next hour listening to them compare notes on their assistant. Problems and tax bracket strategies. Devin keeps bringing up his Rolex, like not just wearing it. Bringing it up. Yeah, I need to get this serviced. The automatic movement in a submariner requires nobody asked. Devin, nobody ever asks. I'm picking at my eggs. Doing that thing where you push food around to make it look like you're eating more than you are. When Marcus drops this bomb. So we were thinking, with you struggling and all, we could help you out. Maybe loan you some money to get back on your feet? Like serious money. Get you into a better situation. And here's the thing. It sounds nice, right? Generous, even. But the way he says it, the way they're all looking at me. Sarah's got her head tilted. Devin's nodding like he's a therapist and I'm his charity case. I'm good, I say. My throat feels tight. Really. The freelance thing is building. I've got some promising leads. Yeah, but Sarah leans forward. When are you going to accept that maybe this isn't working? Maybe it's time to be realistic about your prospects? Realistic about my prospects. I'm 27 years old and she's talking to me like I'm a senior citizen discussing retirement options. I'm working on something, I say. Which is true. I'd been busting my ass on this side project for 8 months. Building something. Can't talk about it yet, but it's real. It's happening. Devin actually laughs. Working on something. Dude, everyone's working on something. That's what people say when they're afraid to admit they're failing. My face goes hot. The restaurant suddenly feels too bright, too loud. The couple next to us glances over. They heard that. I'm not failing. Come on, Marcus says, and his voice has this edge now. This frustration. We're trying to help you. We're offering you actual money. Interest-free. And you're sitting here being stubborn about your little whatever it is you're doing. Little whatever it is I'm doing. I stand up. My chair scrapes. More people look. I need to use the bathroom. I spend 10 minutes in that bathroom stall, staring at the expensive tile, listening to the fancy hand soap dispenser do its automatic thing every time someone walks past. My hands are shaking. I feel like I might throw up those $18 eggs. When I come back, they've paid. Marcus got my meal. The way you'd cover a kid's Happy Meal. The ride home is silent except for the Tesla's weird sci-fi hum, and Marcus occasionally sighing like I'm the one making things awkward. After that, the texts got weirder. Group chat messages about expensive dinners with no pressure to come, we know money's tight. Sarah sending me links to job postings with just trying to help. Devin posting photos from expensive restaurants, tagging everyone but me. I stopped responding much. Started declining invitations. Threw myself into my project. Here's what they didn't know. That side project I'd been building? It was an app. Specific niche, solving a real problem I'd experienced in my freelance work. Nothing sexy, nothing that would make headlines. Just useful. Really useful. I'd been learning to code at night. Built the whole thing myself. Started with 50 beta users from Reddit. Then 500. Then 5,000. 3 months after that brunch, I got my first serious investor interest. 2 weeks after that, I had a term sheet. 6 weeks after that, I had funding. Not just funding. Serious funding? The kind of funding where you incorporate and hire lawyers and suddenly you're having conversations with people in buildings with names like Venture, Partners, and Capital Group. I didn't tell them. I know that sounds petty, but every time I thought about messaging the group chat, I remembered their faces at that brunch. Their pity. Their condescension. Your little whatever it is you're doing. So I stayed quiet. Hired my first 2 employees. Developers way more talented than me who believed in the vision. Watched our user base grow. Did press interviews with tech blogs under my company name, not my real name, so they wouldn't see. Started getting real revenue, then serious revenue. Moved out of that basement apartment into a decent 1-bedroom in a good neighborhood. Bought a car that didn't sound like it was dying every time I turned it on. Nothing fancy, just reliable. Got health insurance. Went to the dentist for the first time in 3 years. The group chat still existed, but I'd muted it. Occasionally, I'd check and see their messages. Planning things. Talking about their jobs. Nobody asking where I'd gone, really. Just assuming I drifted away because I couldn't keep up with their lifestyle. Fine. Let them assume. Then, 2 weeks ago, Sarah's engagement announcement. Big party at her parents' house this Saturday. 2 p.m., everyone from college invited. She sent me a direct message. Would mean a lot if you came. I know things have been weird, but you're still important to me. Plus, you should see the ring Marcus's friend is designing for me. Actual diamonds, not some sad freelancer budget gemstone. Kidding, sort of. Please come. That message. That specific message. Not some sad freelancer budget gemstone. I stared at my phone for a long time. Thought about ignoring it. Thought about sending some excuse. Then I thought about something my first employee told me when I hired her. She'd been freelancing for years, struggling, and she'd said, "The people who are supposed to support you should support you when you have nothing. Not just when you have something to offer them." These people hadn't supported me when I had nothing. But you know what? I wanted them to see. I wanted them to know. Not because I needed their validation, I'd moved past that, but because they needed to understand that they'd been wrong, that their judgment had been garbage, that maybe they should rethink how they treat people who are grinding. So I replied, "I'll be there. Saturday, 2 p.m. Sarah's parents have this beautiful craftsman house in the suburbs, the kind with the wraparound porch and the mature trees. Cars lining the street, nice cars. I park my very normal Toyota 3 blocks away and walk. I'm wearing an actual suit now. Not expensive, but it fits. Tailored. I look like an adult who has their shit together, not a college kid playing dress up. The party is in full swing. Engagement party energy. Everyone's drinking champagne. There's catering. Sarah's showing off her ring to clusters of people. I spot Marcus and Devin on the back patio, laughing about something. I grab a champagne flute from a passing tray and make my way through congratulations and small talk with people I haven't seen in years. Some of them remember me. Most don't. Then I see them notice me, Sarah first. Her eyes go wide. She says something to the person she's talking to and starts walking over, Marcus and Devin following like ducklings. "Oh my God, you came." Sarah's smile is surprised. Genuinely surprised. I honestly didn't think you'd make it. How have you been? Still doing the freelance thing? Still doing the freelance thing. Something like that, I say. I'm calm. Weirdly calm. My heart should be pounding, but instead I feel this strange clarity. Marcus extends his hand for a shake. Like we're professional colleagues, not people who've known each other for 8 years. Good to see you, man. You look better. More put together. Yeah, we were worried about you, Devin adds. You kind of disappeared. But I guess you've been figuring things out? They're all standing there. Sarah's holding her champagne glass delicately, showing off that ring. Marcus has his arm around her shoulder. Devin's got his hand in his pocket in that casual, wealthy person pose. Behind them, through the window, I can see Sarah's parents laughing with guests. This is the moment. The one I'd been imagining for 2 weeks. Actually, I wanted to thank you guys, I say. My voice is steady. That brunch in April, it really motivated me. Sarah's smile falters slightly. Oh, well, good. We were just trying to help. No, seriously. You remember what you said, Devin? About how everyone's working on something and people say that when they're afraid to admit they're failing? Devin's face changes. Just slightly. Marcus shifts his weight. That really stuck with me. Because you were right. Lots of people say they're working on something. But the difference is whether it actually works or not. I reach into my inside jacket pocket. Pull out a business card. Hold it between 2 fingers. The card is simple. Clean design. My company name. The one that's been mentioned in TechCrunch and Forbes and the Wall Street Journal over the past month, though clearly none of them have connected those articles to me. My name underneath, founder and CEO. I hand it to Sarah. She takes it. Looks at it. Her face goes through this journey. Confusion, recognition, shock, disbelief. She shows it to Marcus. He reads it. His eyebrows shoot up. Wait, Marcus says. His voice has lost that confident edge. You're the guy who built... Yeah, Devin grabs the card. Reads it, looks at me. Looks back at the card. Holy shit. People around us are starting to notice the weird energy. The pause in conversation. Sarah's still holding my business card like it might bite her. The company you've been reading about? I say, keeping my voice conversational. Easy. The one that just closed its Series A? That just hired its 15th employee? That TechCrunch called one of the most promising B2B tools of the year? Yeah, that's my little... What did you call it, Marcus? My little whatever it is I'm doing? Sarah's face is red. Actually red. She opens her mouth. Closes it. I wanted to show you guys something. I continue. I pull out my phone. Open my banking app, the business account one. Turn the screen toward them. This is last month's revenue. Not profit, just revenue. Notice anything? Marcus stares at the number. I watch his eyes move across the digits. Count the zeros. That's more than I make in a year, he says quietly. Yeah. Turns out those projects I was working on, they were building something real. While you guys were offering to loan me money like I was some charity case, I was creating something that actually matters. Something that solves a real problem for real people. Something that's growing. Devin looks like he wants to say something but can't find words. His mouth is literally hanging open. Sarah's eyes are watering. We didn't know. We were just trying to help me? By telling me to give up on my dreams? By treating me like a failure? By laughing at my prospects? My voice is still calm, but there's steel in it now. You know what real friends do? They support you when things are hard. They believe in you when you're grinding. They don't offer pity loans and condescending advice. A few more people have definitely noticed now. The conversation around us has gone quieter. Someone's aunt is pretending not to listen while absolutely listening. Marcus rubs his face. Look, man, we made assumptions. We shouldn't have, you'll never own anything. I quote back at them. That's what you said, Devin, you remember? At that brunch when I left to go to the bathroom. Yeah, I heard you guys talking through the wall. About how I was hopeless and living in fantasy land and how I'd never own anything real. Devin's face goes white. I didn't mean you did. You all did. And you know what? It's fine, really, because you showed me who you are. And more importantly, you showed me who I didn't want to become. I take my business card back from Sarah's frozen hand. Slip it into my pocket. I came here today because Sarah invited me, and because, despite everything, I don't believe in ghosting people. I wanted you to know that I'm doing fine. Better than fine. I'm thriving, And I wanted you to understand that the next time you meet someone who's struggling, someone who's grinding, someone who's working on something that seems impossible, maybe don't treat them like a charity case. Maybe ask how you can support them instead of tearing them down. Sarah's crying now. Actual tears. I'm so sorry, she whispers. We were awful to you. Yeah, I say simply. You were. I stayed at that party for another hour. Not out of spite. I actually had nice conversations with other college friends who hadn't been part of that toxic dynamic. People who asked genuine questions about my company, who seemed actually happy for my success. Marcus tried to apologize twice more. Devin bought me a drink and mumbled something about not understanding the vision. Sarah pulled me aside before I left and did the full ugly cry apology, talking about how she'd been so caught up in her own success that she'd become the kind of person she used to hate. I accepted their apologies. Not because they deserved immediate forgiveness, but because holding on to anger would have given them more power over me than they'd already had. But I also didn't rejoin the group chat. Didn't make plans for future brunches. Sent Sarah a nice engagement gift from a registry but declined to be part of the wedding party when she asked. Some friendships don't survive who you become. And that's okay. 3 months later, my company hit profitability. We're on track to close our Series B. I've been featured in actual magazines, speaking on podcasts, getting invited to conferences as a speaker. I bought a house. Not a mansion, not trying to prove anything. Just a nice 3-bedroom in a neighborhood I love. With a yard for the dog, I finally have time and stability to care for. Yesterday, Devin sent me a LinkedIn message. His cryptocurrency thing crashed and he's looking for work. He wanted to know if my company was hiring. I spent about 10 minutes staring at that message. Thought about how satisfying it would be to leave it on read or send back something cutting. Instead, I sent him our careers page link and told him to apply through the normal channels. If he's qualified, my hiring team will evaluate him fairly. If he's not, he won't get the job. Because here's what I learned through all of this. Success isn't about proving people wrong. It's about building something meaningful and surrounding yourself with people who believe in you before you have anything to show for it. My current team, the 15 people working with me, now they're the kind of people who saw potential in a basement-dwelling freelancer with a half-built app and a dream. They're the kind of people who take risks on vision, not just credentials. Those are my people now. Marcus, Sarah, and Devin. They're not bad people. They're just people who forgot that everyone's fighting battles you can't see. They forgot that kindness costs nothing, and that judgment is easy when you're comfortable. Maybe they've learned something from this. Maybe they haven't. Either way, I don't need to know. I've got a company to build, a team to lead, and a future to create. And it turns out I do own something real. Several somethings, actually. I built them myself, while they were laughing.